Good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. Happy Tuesday. As you can tell, we're getting up a little early, a little late. This morning, I gotta tell you, I was so exhausted from yesterday at the Murdaugh hearing. It was a lot of unexpected twists and turns. I will be honest with you. We all watched it. I'm kind of like... with no words. Like I really didn't, I'm so thankful that her utterances and things that she did really wasn't putting her hands on the scales of justice, in my opinion. I don't think that she did anything that swayed the jury in any way. I don't think she went into that jury box during deliberations. I don't think those things were happening. And those are really what you kind of need to show that she was, swaying the jury. I think her utterances were so minor and taken out of context so much that it did prove to be problematic. Some of her conduct was questionable. I will tell you, even though her conduct did not sway the jury in any way, it's still conduct unbecoming of a court clerk. I'll leave it at that. I was very shocked. I think the most disheartening thing for me personally, when it came to this whole entire hearing, was the fact that Becky Hill lied to the judge. And if you know anything about me, I like truth. I think she should have just been honest. I think honesty when you're dealing with attorneys and judges are always the best path forward. Because once you are known to lie to a judge, and this is a public trial, you're kind of almost scarlet lettered in the courts. Like, they now know that you're willing to lie to a judge. Everything you say from this point forward has to be questioned now, right? Because you've lied before, you could lie again. Your word is no longer has value. You devalued yourself. And I felt like she devalued herself, and it was so unnecessary, because in this case, even if she was honest, it wouldn't have rose, in my opinion, to the level to have him have a new trial, even with her being honest. Obviously, she wasn't honest. The judge felt that she wasn't honest and used that, but it was just an embarrassment moment in my opinion, for Becky Hill. And honesty's the best policy, and it's just like, damn, here we are, and she lied. Everybody knows she lied. Again, thank goodness for Judge Newman. Judge Newman realized there was an issue. He raised the issue. It was put on the record. The issue was raised and on the record. And on the record, he even questioned her about questioning the juror. So obviously, in and around the time that this happened, it was well known that she spoke to that juror. Yet when she was up on the witness stand in this motion for new trial, she adamantly denied it to Judge Toll, looking her eyeball to eyeball. I was just like sitting in the pulpit, and I'm just shaking my head. It was heartbreaking. I don't know how else to explain it. Just utter heartbreak. But we had an opportunity to ask some questions to the attorneys. Here are some of the responses.
We don't got a statement. We just heard the order. What do you want?
What's your next step aside from appealing to the state Supreme or to the appellate court?
One of the things that was very heartening today there are two things. The first is that Judge Toll found Becky Hill to be a liar. Okay? That's number one, which means we met our factual burden. Two, she made it very clear that it was right for appeal. So the facts are settled. Becky Hill was not credible. The judge found, in fact, that the statements were made to the jurors. She just found that we couldn't show prejudice, but conceded that we may not have to show that if she's wrong about the law and the law's unsettled.
So Becky being not credible if she's wrong helps you at the next appellate level, or maybe the Supreme Court or the federal level?
Next level. Next, we go from here to the Court of Appeals, and then to the Supreme Court, or South Carolina Supreme Court, and then the federal court.
I have to be honest with you, I didn't really believe the whole story with Becky Hill until today's testimony, and I have to tell you, it did sway me quite a bit, because I didn't believe it. Explain to us how you found out this information.
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, we're glad you're being honest today. No, I mean, when we found out the information about talking to the jurors, you heard the alternate testify today, and honestly, that was really the first one-on-one interview that we were able to get. We had gotten some indications from lawyers who represented some other jurors that we needed to go down this road, and when we finally met with her as she's cooking Sunday dinner in her home down a dirt road, she told us things that were jaw-dropping, and so that's how we found out.
And we wrote down a lot of dirt roads.
You can't have verdicts that go in perpetuity and jurors can constantly say, well, this was my verdict then, but today it's different. You vote once in time. And I think Justice Cole believed that the verdict was the product of free negotiations. Yes, inside a jury room, it's tense. You often hear that there's arguments one way or the other, but she did not feel that this verdict was the result of anything that Becky Hill had said or did or any other court officer. And so, this is the verdict that we have. Our state supports this verdict. You saw how hard the state fought to keep this verdict, and we cannot continue to have trials go over and over again when you have jurors that hear evidence over 6.5 weeks, over 70 witnesses, over 400 pieces of evidence, get the instructions from the judge, give their time, are smart, bright people who come with their God-given common sense, render a verdict, and then are polled and raise their hand and say, this was my verdict. So,
Well, here we have an issue of, as a legal professional that I once was, I have a problem with some of the things that we heard Becky say. I'm thankful that it didn't sway the jury. But we have to be...
I have a big problem with the things that Becky has said. And it's clear that there was some inconsistencies regarding whether she rode with a juror, what was said, what was heard. And I think Justice Toll let the public know and let Becky know exactly what she thought of some of her testimony, and I don't think we've heard the end from Becky, and that she may have to answer for some of the things. I think Justice Toll gave a foreshadowing of what may be coming to Becky.
Yeah.
So we didn't hear from Creighton Waters, but we did hear from Jim, Dick, and Eric about the ruling yesterday from the judge. It is clear that there were some improprieties on behalf of Becky Hill.